Welcome to your Voice Your Impact show, where authentic voices spark real change and bold conversations lead to lasting impact.
That's right. This is a space where we amplify ideas, celebrate stories, and challenge mindsets because every voice matters and every story has the power to transform.
Whether you're a dreamer, a doer, a change maker, or someone simply figuring it out, we are here for you. Each week, we bring inspiring guests, thought-provoking conversations, and powerful insights to help you own your voice and leave your impact.
I am the energetic EJ, a life and transformational coach, a podcaster, and an event host. I work with women who are accomplished to turn their success into legacy influence.
Hi, my name is Olawale Afolabi, but many know me as Scott Unlimited. I'm a seasoned compere and orator par excellence, passionate about connecting people through words and purpose. Beyond the mic, I'm a business intelligence professional driven by insight, strategy, and impact.
My name is Grace So Amazing. I am an integrative life coach. I help my clients align their psychological, social, and physical well-being. I am the founder of Friends Lean On Global Foundation, a non-governmental organization that is centered on educating people about mental and emotional well-being. Like,
subscribe,
and share. Welcome.
Yes, welcome to November. Welcome to the first Monday in November. Welcome to a new us. Welcome to a new team. The team is fresh now. We are fresh. We have expanded. Welcome to expansion. Welcome to new. Welcome. This is the energetic EJ. I hope you are doing well, and I hope that your month, the November month, is kicking off beautifully as it is with us over here on Your Voice, Your Impact. So if you see me doing this, I'm trying to monitor things that is going on, whether people are on Instagram or on LinkedIn. I want to see what people are saying. I want to be sure that we're not missing out on any of the comments that are coming in. So yes, just give me a few seconds to ensure that all of that is set. But while we're making that happen, tell me, depending on where you're connecting from, whether you're on LinkedIn, on Instagram, or on YouTube, how are you? What's going on with you this month so far? I hope that it's been amazing for you because it's been for us. So when I said the word amazing, I'm like, wait. So my name is Grace So Amazing. Oh, we missed that intro, but let's bring the real Grace So Amazing. Hello, Gracie.
I mean, the way you said it made me laugh because, I laugh every time that thing pops up. Grace So Amazing. Yes, Grace So Amazing, and I'm happy to be here. First Monday in the month of November. We can only be grateful. I'm grateful.
Absolutely, we are grateful. And of course, hey, drum roll, gig, drum roll, gig. Most times when it's like, honestly, I think God just did a good thing because we need each other. In the beginning, God said it is not good for man to be alone. Now, it is not good for woman too to be alone. We need each other. And that's why we're so excited that on Your Voice, Your Impact, we have the male gender represented on the team. These are the point where they who let the dogs out. I'm sure you people will be like, what's wrong with these women today? We're excited, okay, because we have a +1 and we would love to bring him off stage right about now. Are you ready? I call him Agbabola. I should have found that song. I'll be playing it now like, Agbabola, how much is money? Come on, hey, balling, hey, premium or nothing. Alagba, now you know. Scotty for life. What's up, brother?
Good morning from wherever you're joining us from.
Are you
Thank you.
blushing? Are you
I
blushing?
you've flattered me too much. It's impossible for me not to blush, man. I don't even know what to say. It's like
Oh my goodness.
they say this is what they call okpo.
Opo.
Yeah. It's
Well,
olofa. Yeah. Let me use the street slang
welcome.
a little bit.
Welcome
Thank
to
you
the
so much.
show. It's
Thank
lovely
you.
to have you on board. Please introduce yourself to our family. And not the inside family, the audience family. Let them feel your freshness.
Yeah. Okay. So to everyone watching, to the audience, and your voice, your impact family. My name is Scott Unlimited. No, let me do it in the grace so amazing and energetic way. You get me? So my name is Scott Unlimited. Right? Yeah. So yeah. So my name is Scott Unlimited. I'm a compare. I'm a speaker. I'm a business intelligence analyst, and it is indeed my pleasure and joy to be here on the show. Thank you for having me. As part of, not a guest, though, as part of the hosts. You
As
know,
part of the family, as part of the family, we
yeah,
are we
yeah.
are we're excited. We're excited to have you here. Yes. So just to baptize you into the system, when we come like this, we like to kind of let people know that see, we like to enjoy life. Especially you see this Grace. She's the minister of enjoyment. Every weekend like this, enjoyment full everywhere. So we like to show small, like, see, we like to enjoy, we like to have a good time. And good time sometimes does not need to cost a arm and a kidney. Good time could be you just really sleeping in and enjoying your body, resting. So we like to catch up on what the weekend was. So let me go first, since I'm holding the mic, because before I pass on the mic to the rest of the people. So November started on a very beautiful note. I was a part of an event um, on Saturday, and I was part of a panel. Now, most of the time when I go to events here, I'm always like the host, or co-host or moderating a panel session. But hardly have I been invited as a speaker or as a panelist. Now, especially in person. So this is almost like maybe not the very very first time, but like one of those times. So people haven't seen me in that space before, and the feedback was basically like, we thought your energy ended with only but we are calm. And I just dripping and say, God, Father, I thank you. Father, I thank you. Oh. It was really good. Even me, I was feeling myself. So I'm grateful for that experience to share amongst other women, and just like, you know what? Let me officially put a shameless plug here. Please, if you are looking for a speaker, I'm available. Book me. I want to speak on your stage. I've done a lot of virtual speaking, by the way, but in person, not so much. So yeah, this is me. If you have an event coming up and you need a speaker, call me, especially if it has to do with life, personal development, and life generally, but personal development more specifically. I'm your guest. Thank you very much. I pass on the mic now to my Lady Grace. How was your weekend?
Hi. This weekend was interesting, and then I am a self-care advocate, and I understand fun and recreation is part of life. People forget that a lot. You work, and then you forget to give back to the body that gives you the permission to work. So because I know how important that is, I don't joke with my enjoyment. So yes, this weekend was my niece, my sister's my younger sister's daughter, her dedication was yesterday, and we live in the same city, but we stay at different places, and because of work we don't get to see. But this Sunday we connected, we took the baby to church, and I could just tell that I'd missed them, because when I was in front, I was in front, and then I just turned back and I saw when my other sisters came in, and where I was just like, I was so excited. Yeah. So, and I'm very big when it comes to family. I love family. I project a lot of content around family. So that was my highlight this weekend. Saturday, I also went to a school, now university. I went there for a program as well. And I was also a speaker, but I didn't speak for long. It was just to do an evaluation. So that was, my weekend was busy and interesting. So yes, that was my weekend in a nutshell. Over to
Love it.
you, Scott Unlimited.
Well, for me, I want to say for me, my weekend was almost exactly as that of Grace So Amazing. It was a pretty intentional, restful weekend. So for this weekend, I chose to lay back and just rest, and also got the chance to attend a birthday celebration of an acquaintance, so pretty chilled, pretty quiet, just everyone, doing their thing here and there. And yeah, there was a big highlight to that birthday actually. And like something happened there that blew my mind, which was, as someone who is, been an MC all along, imagine getting to a birthday party and your girlfriend is the MC. And I was like, yeah, well, no. so, so it's more like, now I'm a baba, like now I'm a mentor, indirectly, just watching her do her thing, just coordinate, and also proud of her. And yeah, it was just, I was just there, just catching my breath, watching everything and enjoying and resting. Yeah, so that was my weekend.
Oh, that's beautiful. Like, there's nothing as beautiful as being proud of your own people when you see them doing stuff like, hey, you are a little thing. Okay, so again, once in a while, dear audience, the Nigerian in me comes out unannounced. So I just said just now, what I said is that this one day and you say nothing day. It doesn't even make sense even in English. So just the people that understand it, understand it. God bless you all. So I wanted to do a special shout out to a friend who turned 60 on on Sunday, November 2nd, which is yesterday. He turned 60. I don't know that he's going to watch this, but I'll give him a hint that I gave him a shout out so that he can watch this particular episode. Because I remember that I reached out to him last year, like, hey, I'm talking to men, would you come? And he just cowered. Jason, you. But happy birthday to you, Jason. I call him Old Soldier or Pappy J, but he's been called JJ the Party Man for the longest time. And he turned 60 yesterday. Happy birthday to you, Jason Harvey. I pray that God blesses you and continue to increase you in wisdom, in love, and in everything that your heart desires. So happy birthday. Okay, now let's come to the topic of the day. If you know any man, around you, if you see any man around you and it is not out of culture to just give them a smile or a hug, please give them a hug, okay? I think sometimes we don't appreciate men enough, or we don't as appreciation. We don't just appreciate them enough, we just feel like they should know, they should be strong, they should know to be like, it's almost like when you hear man, you hear responsibility. but also we can be more welcoming to them. And so I'm happy that this month we're diving into the Movember moment. So basically, the Movember moment is a moment, it's a movement that a particular foundation started some couple of years back, and what it's all about is to create more awareness for men's health generally, but particularly mental health, prostate cancer, and wellness generally. And then one of the traditions, or one of the things that is done in celebration of Movember, is that men keep their mustache, so they shave beards and keep only the mustache. I see you, yeah, Scott, you're repping. I love it. So they grow their mustache. Abi, where's our own? We should have found one. Oh, I would have borrowed the Shalewa's own. Shalewa by night, Kabiru by day. I would have borrowed his own beard. So they keep their beards in solidarity with men who commit suicide. Do you know that statistics says that men sick, like every 60 minutes, every hour, 60 men are called. That's like almost every minute a man is committing suicide somewhere. And I remember when we joined this movement last year, our very first episode was by a woman, and that kind of caught some ruckus last year. Like, how are you talking about men and then it's a woman that you have as a guest? But when we went into that conversation, we knew why she had to be here. She had to tell that story because somehow God used her in saving a man from jumping off, the bridge. And that was a whole heart-touching story. And her heart actually pounds for helping men, become mentally rounded as a practicing psychologist, psychiatrist herself, right? And so we had that conversation, and then we had a couple of men. It was very, very beautiful conversation last year. I remember one of the highlights was when we had a panel session about sex, money, and power. Oh my God, that session was interesting. You can go check it out on the YouTube channel. This year, we have a guest that is coming back on the show, right? And this guest was here last year, and he shared with us particularly the ABC, like know your ABC to set your goals. When you're setting your goals, what are the things that you're putting in place? He's a coach, and he shared, so beautifully with us, last year. And to an extent, he was also vulnerable at the time. But guess what? If we thought he was vulnerable then, we should think again, because today we're going to have him on the show to talk or to lean more into vulnerability. In the space of 1 year, a lot has happened. He's been through different phases, and he's come out on the other side, more grounded than he was last year, and more clear about his purpose, about the path that he's pursuing this year. But all of that journey did not go without pain. And, so converting that pain, bringing all the way down into purpose, leveraging vulnerability to seek the help, to know, to question, to agree that, what, I don't think I'm okay. I need something. I need to work on this. I need to think through this. I need to, to be able to put myself under the process to come out refined. That's beautiful. So that's the conversation we'll be having today with our guest. But before I bring him on the stage, we have a guy in our midst here. I want to whine Scott because today is his first day. In Nigeria, I don't know about any other place. When it's your birthday, there's a thing we do to you. Like everybody, your friends, we gather. Is either they will wet you with water, or they will flog you, or they will pour powder on you or something. They will really just ridicule you on your birthday. So this is your birthday on your Voice Your Impact. Well, I want to put you on the hot seat quickly before we bring on our guest. When you hear the word vulnerability as a guy man, what comes to mind for you, and how does it show up for you as a person?
Well, when you talk about vulnerability, I think it's a really big topic in the men's circle, because it is something that as a man, you're not expected to be. you're expected to be get up and fix it, get up and fix you, get up and do it. So it's not a topic that a lot of men discuss. You're meant to internalize your pain. You're meant to just be a man. Vulnerability therefore means weakness in the world of, in the world today, in the world, to men, to society, actually, not to men themselves. Men, I believe, want to open up, but when you do, it is interpreted to society as you being weak. So yeah, and I've had personal experiences too. So yeah, that's what I
So
understand.
would you consider yourself a vulnerable person?
Mm. Um, well, I've had my fair share of being vulnerable and being a man. I've had my fair share of being vulnerable and being a man, and largely I've been vulnerable as sort of burnt my finger more than it has helped me. So yeah, I know the difference now.
So are you saying you would because of that experience, would you embrace being vulnerable more, or are you like, "Ah, thank you for being understanding for me to be vulnerable, but I'll pass"?
I think I would not be exactly, I'm not exactly vulnerable anymore, you know. And I think I would be speaking for a lot of men when I say we are not being exactly vulnerable anymore, you know. So unless, yes, there is some level of safe, there is no, I believe, like, you can't be you can't be entirely vulnerable without first, with anyone, without first putting certain measure of safety in place first. I think that's what it is now, right? So yeah, sometimes even if you don't pass, to use your words, even if you don't pass, you'd still leave the, you will only leave, you will only open just an inch of the door to wherever you're letting into your vulnerability as a man.
And that is so deep. That is so deep. I mean, we could stay here, but we have a guest, and I'm curious to know his own perception on the topic of vulnerability. Being a guest here before and knowing how, yeah, I've seen him on other stages. I've seen him spoken. I know to an extent he's been able to do some work, on himself to kind of increase that 1 inch to probably 5 inch. But I don't know where he's at the moment. So we'll find out if that 5 inch has expanded or it has like shifted, like no more, please stay your own and let me be my own, right? Let's find out from our guest today, none other person than AQ Ali of AQ Coaching. Hello, Mr. AQ. How are you today?
I am good. I want to start by saying thank you to Grace So Amazing, Energetic EG, and Brother Scott. Welcome to the family. More importantly, what you just said just gave me goosebumps. So thank you for even being, by you sharing your story, actually made me feel comfortable because I thought, okay, now I can talk. So thank you. And thank you for having me, everybody.
Awesome. I'll pass the mic on to Gracie. Please, Grace, take it away.
Welcome, AQ. I don't know if it's just from my end, but I can barely hear you. Is it just from my end, or you can hear? Oh, okay, all right then. It's fine. Good to
Yeah, I
have you
think I
here
can hear you.
again. I remember last year we had a very wonderful conversation, and I forgot to ask, what's AQ, by the way? I'm just curious. Is it an acronym or it's your full name? What's AQ?
I was going to say, how long do you have? It has a dual meaning. There's a dual meaning to it. It's Abdul Khadir, which is my formal name, which means Allah, servant of God, or Allah. The other acronym to it is Authentic Quest, which is the name of my company, and it has a dual meaning. So short for AQ, for those who cannot pronounce the full name, but it also reflects to be of service. I'm an authentic quest, and it's a word that is used a lot. But it's my name and it's my calling. So yeah, it's not a fashion name. I had a fashion name, and we'll get to that. But but this one is with a purpose. Thank you for asking.
All right, now that's out of the way. When Scott was speaking about men, guiding or being on, they guard themselves because of maybe they've opened up in the past and it affected them. So sometimes you're being careful. What's your take on vulnerability? I'd like to hear what you think. First, what does it mean to be vulnerable? And what does it mean for you and to you to be vulnerable? And tell us a story around vulnerability if you don't mind sharing.
Oh no, I don't mind sharing. I've got AG here who will correct me, and I've given you guys the license to catch me when I get too passionate about how I speak. I will speak from my perspective of vulnerability. It's one of the most powerful tools a human being can have. Man, woman, or all the other acronyms that now exist, right? All the titles that exist. Vulnerability to me is your way, your internal compass telling you something that is not right, and that's something that needs to be addressed. So you being vulnerable is who you be vulnerable with, and that's what I loved about what Brother Scott said. It's setting boundaries and setting safeguards and setting who am I being vulnerable with? Because vulnerability, it doesn't come through microphone or through TV or Wi-Fi or helicopter. It's an emotion that exists in you. So you cannot fight your shadow and expect it to talk back and say, I'll be back later. No, you being vulnerable means there is something, so some imbalance of some sort, or something has triggered you, or some situation is not sitting well with you. Who can I share it with? When you run out of grocery, you go to the grocery store. When you have a dental, you go. When your internal compass is imbalanced, where do you go with it? The only person you can be vulnerable with is you, first of all, and then decide who you want to be vulnerable with and what aspect of vulnerability you want to share. Saying all of that, vulnerability is a word, but it's a tool that helps you navigate through life. That is my take on it. There is no power other than the one that you have over it. But also, we've given it too much power that if I'm vulnerable, then I'm weak. You're weak every day and you're strong every day. Give me the permission to be both. That's my take on vulnerability.
I particularly like what you just said when you said, give me the permission to be both. I can be vulnerable and I can be. So saying that is somehow giving vulnerability. There's usually a saying that being vulnerable is where the strength lies. So when you put it side by side with being strong and being vulnerable, what do you mean by that, and how can you help someone know that in between that this is exactly what you mean about being vulnerable and being strong? What does it speak to you, so that somebody that is saying that, okay, I want to be strong and I want to be vulnerable, and there's a big saying out there that strength lies in being vulnerable, so to help someone unpack the difference, help them know what that strength, being strong, means, and how it is embedded in vulnerability.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I go back to starting with you, where you are in your life, what age, what situation. So it's situation. And vulnerability is just a word that has been given so much power than it really deserves. It is just another word. It is now linked to a negative connotation when it really means being vulnerable means, listen, I don't think I'm able to go to work today, not because I'm sick. I just don't have the strength and I hate my boss. But who you say that to without being fired is very important. You don't tell everything to everybody. Or I don't have money to go to work. Can you lend me the money? Or I've got this deadline, I've got a presentation, I'm horrible at public speaking. vulnerability is your way of knowing something is out of balance and something is out of your control. And it's a silent cry for help. But it also means, do I trust you? Hey, listen, I'm not going to be able to pick up my daughter or my son, or my girlfriend might find out that I'm actually doing something that she doesn't want to see. I'm trying. So anything that is outside your control, that's where vulnerability sits, because it needs external engagement. So recognizing vulnerability, it just means, listen, I'm not okay with this. Something is not okay, and who do I speak to? And that recognition is, it just becomes uncomfortable. And if it's uncomfortable, where do you go? So that's how you recognize it. Now, the power of it is, once you see, like Grace, I haven't met you in person, but I've seen you enough, we engaged enough. You now coming into the supermarket, I cannot unsee you. I'll be like, Grace, so amazing. How are you? You know? So the power lies in understanding it, so it doesn't creep up. Or when somebody else points it back at you and goes, well, the other day you were broke. Well, that was yesterday. Why are you still talking about it? Today I'm not broke. Yesterday I hated my boss, but actually he invited me to his birthday and he gave me a promotion. Why are you stuck with my yesterday? So now I know you're not one to be shared certain things with, but I love you from a distance. So the power is you're claiming back what you fear the person will use against you. That's where the power is.
love it. I love it. Thank you so much. You know what you just said? I'm going to pass the mic to Scott to ask his own question. But before I do that, I'll just say something that I heard. There's this comedian. She's a Nigerian, and she said something recently that people still, there's this very popular, very rich musician. He's called I've forgotten his name right now. He used to sell rat poison. And he's very well to do now. He's gone beyond that stage. And she said that some people still address him based on the rat poison that he used to sell. For someone that is very wealthy and has moved on. So when you said that I was broke yesterday, but I've got money today. So if I was vulnerable and I told you something and have dealt with it, I've moved on, which is a major issue, that people are afraid to be vulnerable because they would use it against them, even if they move past it. So I just like that you mentioned it. So over to you, Scott Unlimited, for your question.
I love the title. Please limit your questions. I beg. That's the only Nigerian.
Well, so far so good. That my question now would be, thank you for the definition and introduction you've given, the very broad introduction you've given to the topic, vulnerability. When the team came up with the topic, personally I said, wow, vulnerability for men, that's deep. And so far you've been breaking it down so well. My question would just be that, okay, so for you as a person, where you are now, how are you able to progress to this point in your vulnerability journey? Because I'm sure you probably started out also believing that, well, I shouldn't be vulnerable, but now you see it as a strength. You see it as, you see it from a really positive light. So how has the journey been for you so far?
I cannot speak about that without speaking about this show. When I did it last year, I was in the best and the worst place of my life at the time. If you look back in that video, I look different. The background was crazy as whatever. And I was talking about ABC, and I still live by the ABC. But I was going through a storm, and the only thing that kept me going, I knew why I was doing it. Not what I was doing, I knew why I was doing it. The pain was so greater than the purpose. My sisters can tell you, I think I spoke about 45 minutes out of nervousness and trying to control the outcome of the interview so that it benefits me, it benefits them, so it reaches where it needs to reach to. So what has happened since then is I was just trying to avoid the reality of the fact that I wasn't ready. that I wasn't ready. My environment was not the right environment. And more importantly, I didn't know how to accept pain and failure. From myself, I've come back to the UK to be at my nephew's wedding for October and to go back to Kenya. Now, I'm still here. We are now in November. So going back to why I'm still here is that resistance to what is happening that is really beyond my control. It's a divine intervention. Whoever you pray to and whoever I pray to might be different, but there are some things that are really beyond your control, and going against the grain only creates difficulty for you, first of all. So surrendering is one word that I would use. It doesn't mean I accept that Grace called me ugly. She's got the right to call me ugly, but do I see ugly every day? No. Do you know, but today I'm ugly and she's right. I'm ugly today. But what I mean by that is centering yourself and knowing what you can and cannot control. And that was where a lot of my anxiety was. I came back, and this is where the point that I was making. 49, no children, no wife, no house, no car, and you're black and bold and short. Now you explain to me, how does that portray success, my friend? And you coming from African country, I'm British citizen with Somali background. You're telling me you have no child. You're telling me you have no wife. You have no car and you have no house in this country, and you're British and you have a university degree. So any conversation that I can say to myself, they had a mirror to me, and they should, because that's what they've known. And I was like, I'm not good enough, my God. But I still know by helping other people, there's a fire that lights within me. And that is why when I did the show, and right after the show, I got invited to a big conference that was happening in Nigeria. That was my first time speaking in a conference. I still went through. In both settings, you see the external environment was not right. What I'm talking about from camera, from how I was positioned, what I was saying, how nervous I was, to where I am today. And that's only because I realized one thing: what do I control? What's within my control that I can change? And what do I give away to individuals, to the universe, to the God and the creator, if you believe that or not? And that is when the paradigm shift happened for me. So telling you all of this, I hope it gives you a context to my journey. And it's important to speak about, why am I back? Am I back now so people can follow, like me, because I'm much better? I'm here to help them. I am not an expert on anybody's life. The individuals that I'm going to be working with, the community I'm going to be working with, are the experts. But me being vulnerable, it starts my own healing. And I found the fire in what I do that then gives back to me. So I'm going back to your question, and I haven't forgotten it, but I wanted to give you a context. So when I speak, I'm speaking from my own lived experience, and I'm also speaking from being men and being black and being of certain age and what's expected of you. But I've never questioned until the age of 49, what do I expect of me? I lived by what was expected of me. So letting go of that pressure and being able to accept and giving people the right to judge you. What they don't have the right is stand in front of you and tell you so, and thinking that they can walk away and see, okay, no, it's going to be a different conversation. You don't have the right to come and tell me what you need, what you're thinking, but you have the right to think what you think of me. And being able to let that control go allowed me to make peace and go, right, why am I trying to control something that has not happened? And that is where my stress was. My stress was not with me. I am bold. I already accepted that. I have no child. I'm good. Because when it's time, that child will be here. Wife, she's not here. When she's here, you will know and you will see. Car, I don't have driver's license. House, I don't have the money for. The reality is, everything you asking me, you want me, you're measuring me from, I don't have it. What I have is a why as to why I exist. And that is bigger than what you can give me. It sounds very literal, but that's really the truth of my journey. Has that answered your question, my brother? Or have I gone way over it? I can't hear any of you.
Okay, I thought Scott was going to take land that. Scott,
Oh.
you're looking for unmute. Unmute yourself. Okay, I will mute.
Yeah, I was asking, have I answered this question? Have I
Yeah,
gone?
Yes.
you did answer my question. Sorry, there was some mix-up over here. Yes, you've answered my question. Thank you so very much for that. I'll pass the mic to the EJ, the energetic.
They're singing our names now.
He's like, this guy talks too much. Pass the mic on. I'm not dealing with him.
Oh my goodness. That was so good. That was so good. And wow, so much gems in your answer to that, very straightforward questions. And I really love it. Love it. Letting go of what is out of your control and knowing what is in your control. Because if you don't know what is in your control and what you can change, you keep fighting what is out of your control. And that is a battle you never win because it's out of your control from the very beginning. And I think that is so beautiful. Now, knowing you over the years, well, maybe not based on that, just based on the fact that we were together for Movember Movement, and I know how much you come alive in November. I begin to wonder because from then till now, it's almost like, are you a vampire that hibernates?
I'm dead. I'm dead. I can't deal with it. A vampire. I might as well call it.
That hibernate. And what is November? Your glory comes alive. Like, yes, we have to be. We have to speak about this. Like, I can feel your passion. Like, let's talk about this. And for me, I'm just like curious to say, okay, where is this coming from? At what point did you begin to really pay attention to the men folk? Or let me even take it, maybe not generally men folk, but even this Movember movement itself. When did you latch onto the concept or to the movement, and why was it important for you to also lend your voice, no matter how small, to this movement?
That's a good question because you only know something when it happens to you and you recognize it in others. And that's exactly what happened. When I recognized it in others, but they were having the same conversation, but differently, and there was no platform. So the first time it seems like every year I'm coming back to every November, and Grace said that to me before. But last November was my first time because that's the first time I saw myself befriending vulnerability and people looking at me in a way that was not pleasant. And it's like, oh, you talk too much. I said, that's a gift and a blessing. Oh, what do you want me to do with it? You change the channel. But speaking with purpose is something else. If what I'm saying does not resonate with you, I respect that. Change the channel. I am not going to surround myself with people who don't see, hear me, and believe me. You don't have to even value or respect me because your feeling has no control over me. You can change your mind. Grace can say to me, today you look very handsome. She can change her mind in 2 hours. So when I started noticing amongst my inner circle, we're all going through it, but we're having a different conversation. And when I looked around my other, when I looked around outside the community of Black and Somali and Muslim, hey, listen, I'm feeling depressed, I'm not going to go to work today. It was very easy for them to have the vulnerability conversation. Here you come, it's mastered in so many layers, and it takes people that I've known very long time to tell me certain things that I cannot repeat until I'm like, I've known you long enough. How come I didn't know this? Only because I only started paying attention myself too, because I was still in that same scenario. So that is the first time I thought, right, there's a void for men in general, but there's a void for Black men because our endurance to pain is very much accepted. So it's a cultural differentiation and cultural norms that is not made available to Black men within the community. Let's not even go outside. These are my family who are asking me these questions, let alone external. Actually, people who do not know me or not relate to me are able to be understandable. And that's when it becomes frightening. Did I have moments of cry? Yeah, because I realized there's power in crying because it needs to be out of, and it doesn't make me weak. So when I realized that it was because I saw myself in an island, and other people having a different language. And that was the first time I moved on with it. But then before I could continue further, I realized that there was more work that I needed to do. And I said to God, why am I here? And I'm being serious. I did say, I said, why? I don't like being in this situation. I don't like being this vulnerable. And the answer was loud and clear. It's not about you. It's where I want you to be and to serve. Your name. Remember your name, Abdul Khadir, to be of service. And through service, I also get self-fulfillment and satisfaction. Let's not even be like, I am here to save. I'm not here to save anybody. You save yourself. My job is to be a vessel. And pain, the acronym of pain, the wonderful Iana Bantan describes it. Acronym. Pain means pay attention inwards, or pay attention now. That's what pain is. It's just saying to you, hey, something in where you're taking me, how you are putting me in situation is not right. And the only way pain can show itself, it has to hurt and it has to be loud. And mine got so loud that I couldn't hide. And that's why I went into a shutdown and now can speak comfortably about vulnerability. Did I have suicidal thoughts? 150%. But I'm like, why would I do that? And who's going to explain to my creator why I'm here? Have I done the job that I was put on this earth to do? No. The job that was expected of me from the world is the one that I didn't do. The one that the creator had for me is far more greater than any human being or even myself. And that is when I'm like, okay, the next November is here. And this one, I didn't rush. The other one was a job. This one, it's of purpose. How it lands, where it lands, how it's received, how it's not received, I don't control that.
Oh, so good.
Short answer, right, Grace?
So good. So good. I'll pass it on to Grace. Thank you. Thank you. You landed us safely. Love it.
I want to even talk generally. So shifting a little bit from vulnerability, and I mean, thank you for sharing, and thank you for also being vulnerable. So I'm just curious to know what success means to you personally. I mean, when you said what you said, it's like a societal construct. Success is when you have this, you check this, that's what success is. From what you were saying, that it looks like, okay. So if you were to speak generally and in your own view, what do you think success is? How would you define success?
Sustainability. The only word I can describe success, sustainability. Is it sustainable? Or are we looking at short-term solution to a long-term problem? Is success transitioning from A to B? And I say I have arrived, whether I showcase it to people or I showcase it to myself. But how long does that success last? Success to me is sustainability and joy. And success to me means it's what I'm doing bringing me joy. It's the return on investment far more greater now and tomorrow maybe. Or am I just looking at, like, if my success now is really based on task to task. My success is gratitude that I am able to make it to this call. That's success to me. That I was comfortable at the beginning of this session and listening to you both, and when Scott spoke, and this is where representation matters. As much as I love you, Grace, so amazing, and Angie, when he spoke, I'm like, nothing he said was foreign to me. That was a success. So success can be as grand and it can be as small. But if you don't appreciate the small wins, how could you look forward to the big wins? And are you ready when you get to that big palace, the big car, the big job, the big money, the big family, the 6 wives or 4 wives, whatever, or so 5 girlfriends, whatever gives you that self-fulfillment? How ready are you? Are you a good partner? Are you a good manager? Are you a good employee? Are you a good father, good teacher? How good are you? And if you're so good, how much joy does it give you in being that good? If there is no joy, then it's just a job to go from A, because I'm aware now of what I need to do, B, move without no balance or perspective. And C, stay committed because I am successful because the people said so. No, success is biteable wins that then leads to your bigger picture that reflects the very vision that you had for your life. So it's big-winded and it's situation to situation, but this idea of labeling is what I'm trying to move away from. Vulnerability, oh my God, define it. What is it? I'm not speaking about how you've asked. It's an emotion that exists within me. It's not borrowed from EG or Grace. Success is, I'm going to enjoy that success, whether it's money, whether it's marriage, whether it's travel. So if it's to do with me, it's the measurement has to start with you. Vulnerability, you measure it. Success, you measure it. The standard of the others, listen, if you can see somebody that says, I am successful, I'm good to go, let me know. I will have a conversation with them. I want to know the code. I want to know which AI they used. I want to know how they got there. Because as long as you, my grandmother used to say, hey, pinch yourself. I'm like, what for? Just do it. You pinch. And she goes, did it? It hurts. She's like, because you're alive. That's a success. Simple as that, because there's many, and you don't have to compare yourself what other people don't have. It's what success means to you. There's not one single answer. We are dynamic. Your life is dynamic. My life is dynamic.
Thank you so much. I'm curious to know, Scott, what does success mean to you? And then if EJ can take it from there, let's just have our own perspectives. And then, Scott, what does success mean to you? How would you define success?
Well, I'll definitely define success to mean to me exactly what AQ has said: fulfilling or achieving milestones, no matter how small they are. Because definitely, if you're not able to appreciate the small wins, you cannot appreciate the big wins. And success is anyway relative, right? Whatever you're able to, when you set a goal and you accomplish it, that's a win. Planning to be on the show today and being here, that's success. So yes, so that's how I would definitely define success. It's not exactly in the big things. Not only that, every step of the way, every move that gets achieved, every height that gets attained is definitely success. Waking up in the morning alone, hale and hearty, is a big success that majority of us sometimes do not even identify or recognize how huge it is. So yes, that's how I would define success.
Thank you.
Love it. I love it. And I just love how Iki puts it, that success is the sustainability of joy. That's classic. I love it. I mean, for me, I always come from the angle of faith, as a person of faith, to say that what success means to me now. Of course, we all, I think at some point, maybe where we're growing up, social construct and all of that, until we started having our own brain. Like, come on now, these people did not put me here. They put me here. So I cannot be living by their standards. No, there's somebody else, a bigger one.
It's not just about becoming doctor, engineer, lawyer.
You understand?
You get to believe in the beginning.
Right? So for me, success is aligning with your God-given assignment per time. I'm a part of a course. I'm a coordinator for a course called Alpha in the UAE. It's a course that's started in the UK and all of that. But one of the topic we had last week was how does God guide us and all of that. And one of the subtopic that came from that is the subject of purpose. Right. So how do you find your purpose? What's your purpose in life and all of that? And I know for the very longest time that was like a shackle on my neck, like, God, what's my purpose? Why am I here? Am I doing the thing I'm supposed to be doing? Like, I was so obsessed with it that it almost brings you to a point of freeze every time, or a constantly living in anxiety and fear because you're like, hey, am I supposed to meet this person? Is this a person supposed to be in my life? And I think that's something that pushes people to now go reading cards, reading palm, reading tarot, horoscope. Oh, I used to be a horoscope follower. That hey, today the love of your life. Tomorrow you will get money. Like it's stressful.
Yes.
But now I've come to understand from my walk with God, from my journey, that my purpose, my ultimate purpose in life, is to bring pleasure to God, is to serve Him, bring pleasure to Him. And what bring pleasure to God? People, humans. That's why He created us, to give Him pleasure. So it means if I'm able to help people, if I'm able to make people, if I'm able to make somebody else's life better, it also, because they say, thank God for you. That has given glory to Him. And that's my ultimate purpose. But then in life, we have assignments. Your voice, your impact is one of my assignments.
Absolutely.
That's why we show up here every Monday. And we're going to keep on, we're going to keep showing up until He says, okay, Auntie, your assignment is over. Pass the baton to those young people. Train them and pass it on. But what is still there because the foundation has been laid. So this is one of my assignments. And in working in this assignment, I am also fulfilling purpose. And that is, for me, success. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Can I build
Grace, you that asked the question, what's your
Yeah.
answer?
And I want to build on what you said, but Grace, please go ahead. But I want to.
No, AQ, you can go ahead, and I'll say mine. You can go ahead.
She said hers. You see that because she's got a real brick behind her. We all got fake brick behind us.
No, mine is even very simple. Just go ahead.
No, I was just saying.
I don't want you to lose that thought since
Oh,
you're still in the circumference of yeah. So just go ahead.
Thank you. I mean, I love what my brother Scott has echoed, and Iji, you and I have built a friendship and a bond. And it's funny, I've met you in my last leg of the Middle East after how many years? But it's what you said, that your assignment is now, one of your assignment is your voice, your impact. And linking it to success, it's clearly successful because you guys are still here. I've seen your numbers. And because there's an eye to, there's an intention behind it. And that intention is aligned with the calling. And what I loved about what you said about the assignment and passing it on, because when it stops bringing you joy, that's when it's no longer successful. It's no longer, when it becomes an assignment, a job, then it's job is a job. Finish the job and move on. The joy is what keeps you going. And I can see, like, I'm looking at your names, like Energetic EJ, Grace So Amazing, and Scott Unlimited. And here I am, just 2 letters, AQ. I'm like, they've got really fantastic names and you come in with AQ. But I'm on an authentic quest. I can't compete with Energetic So easy. So your purpose, your passion, your pain, and your success and your vulnerability is something that belongs to you. And thank you for bringing the faith element, because that is what I love about our relationship and why I love this channel, because we shy away talking about faith, whether it's this religion, that religion, or whatever, but we do shy away talking about religion without imposing it on somebody. But faith is something that I value, and important that you find whatever it is that gives you that way. But thank you. That was a short comment back, but I wanted to give you that feedback. Thank you for doing that. As Grace said the other day, she said, what you focus on grows. And that's so true. So you being able to find that and focusing on my purpose and my partner, you'll find it, man. There'll be a win. And you invite me to that wedding, go. Grace.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. And the reason I asked that question, I was recently with a millionaire. We were having a conversation, and I was just curious, like, you have money, you have this, you have that, So tell me what you're afraid of, or what do you get scared of? And it was just a question of not falling back, always having the money. But the truth of the matter is, money is not just what makes one successful. And it's very important to accomplish a lot of things. So, that conversation led to other things that made me, I said, yeah. So success to me is what I define success to be. And it means me achieving my goal one step at a time. That's success to me. One step at a time. It doesn't matter what you think success is. My own definition of success is superior to me and for me. So that's pretty much. And then all the perks around, what looks good. I mean, you need money to be able to do a lot of things. You need money to be able to, and it comes as I achieve my goal. So everything put together for me and how I define it is one step at a time. Check. That's success. Another thing, check. This is success, check. So that's it's a continuum for me. It's a continuum.
I think I wanted to bring in one thing, guys, and that's something that Iji touched on, the intergenerational part. What are we teaching the next generation? When are we breaking the cycle? Is something else, because what brother and Scott said and what you just said, we say in Vital. If you were to ask our parents, success has a different meaning. So we've also we now carry a responsibility in changing certain languages, messages, and the heavy burden that we place on ourselves and on the next generation. Because you see, we grew up, well, I know we're about the same age, we grew up a lot faster than the current generation. You know what I mean? By a certain age, we were all employed. If I can speak for some, like the two of you that I know, Scott, I get to know you, but this generation has a different experience. So it's also important to think about the intergenerational aspect and intercultural, even though we haven't traveled from country to country, because intercultural doesn't mean from country. In the house itself, we've got Gen Zs living with a different generation, speaking a different language, and like, when was the last time you saw a kid with a pacifier? The iPhone became the pacifier. This kid is already AI advanced than you. He can Google anything before you even say. So anything you're not competing with what the auntie, the uncle say, is what the AI said and what he finds on Google. So it's not auntie, it's not grandmother, it's not grandfather. No, it's what Siri told him. So we've got to also be careful of the language that we use and how we take it to the next generation and understand their journey with that pointer finger. You know, people say, in my age, I was working 3 jobs. That's your journey. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Like, I came back to this country at my age and no children and no wife. I expected all my nephews will be coming and cooking for me and give me tea. One of them put the kettle on. 20 minutes later, it's like, where's the tea? So I put the kettle on. I was like, no tea bag, no sugar, no milk. That's the task. I said, God, Jesus, no, leave me alone. So, but to him, that was like, you've asked me for a tea. But you didn't say
I'm boiling the water for you. Please get your tea and your milk by yourself.
I swear to God, you think I could have done that to my uncle?
Never. They never born you well.
What? You have to get the belt with it, you know? I bring the tea and the tray and whatever biscuit mom put aside on a tray here. No, my nephew, he did his part. It's my responsibility to make the tea. I said, 2025, I don't like you. I'm not like it. So the intergenerational and intercultural is something that, as we speak from our different experiences, we've got to understand what's happening at home on the macro level and even at the micro level.
Then I love it. Thank you for bringing that in. It's such an important topic that we're not having yet. Like, we're not, you know how you mentioned the topic about your lived experience around vulnerability with men, that everybody was talking about it, but nobody was having the conversation, right? It's the same thing as what you're saying now. Like, everyone is talking about, everyone is complaining about, this Gen Z and Gen Alpha are even, my God, the audacity of Gen Alpha. Like, Gen Alpha will literally tell you that, Mom, you're lying. And I'm like,
and she wants to live in the house. And she wants to stay in the house.
Are you talking to? Are you telling your daddy that your mommy that he's lying? He said yes. But she said she was going to do this, and that's not what you're saying now. You so she's like, I'm like, hey, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. And so these are
No,
conversations.
I think we can bring all generations together. Maybe we'll think about it. We bring
Abs-
Alpha, Gen,
yeah,
which one is our own again?
Millennia,
For the
all the
records, I'm
millennia.
12. I don't know
Excuse
what I
you.
mean. Aki, you were saying something that I'm 12,
Don't relate with
please.
her.
it's
No,
a, it's
really,
a
I'm
weekend.
12.
I'm not speaking the language.
It's a weekend.
What did you eat? Eh? What did you eat? Why are you laughing?
Let me clock that. Let me clock it.
Listen, Scott, make it make sense.
Chakam, chakam.
Make it make sense. Make
Yeah. What you
Make-
talking
No
about?
capping, no capping, no capping. I felt it
goodness.
yesterday. I was with my nephews and they were just using some terms. I'm like, God, am I that old? What are these guys saying?
God, yeah.
I was trying to fit in, but it was so obvious that they were looking at me like, stop trying.
I know, and we think that we're the cool people. But I think the point to it is we're laughing about it, but certain homes, there's a shame to, and I know I'm making this fun into a seriousness, but we shame a lot of the next generation and be like, you are no longer identifying, you're not African, or you're watching this thing, and before you know it, he or she finds comfort outside the house, then she or he finds at home. He or she can be himself, herself, because every time they try to express themselves, it's like, shame. Who are you shaming on whose expense? You know? So anyway, just wanted to bring that. Just wanted to
Thank you for chipping that in. It was a detour we never knew we needed, but it actually added to this conversation. Why? Because it's in the vulnerability of the parents to actually come to terms that this is a new era, and you need to speak the language of this new generation to even get across to them. Otherwise, it's like you're yapping. You're like, what are you saying? When you're done, you'll be quiet. Duh. Because something type shit. I mean, what is type shit, for crying out loud? Somebody, I did the anonymous text. Thank you, Lady Stature, for coming. Lady Stature says on Instagram that my Zimbabwean mother would throw her shoes at me for saying, Mommy, you are lying.
Oh my God, that's true.
You know, and it's just, somebody was saying to me the other day, like, I lost my train of thought. But anyways, thank you for bringing in that conversation, because it's on the part of the parents as well to know that these conversations need to be had, and to kind of try to explain, maybe not really explain. I don't even know how to do, because sometimes it's really tough for us, because you're like, how can I be negotiating with this child? I am your mother. Why should I be negotiating with you? You should listen to what I have to say. But the truth, like I said, is when you stay on that, then you're pushing them away. And then they become, so again, parents, I know this started with men, but again, yes, man, as the head of the house, especially for those of us who try to claim head of state, as the head of the house, please, part of your vulnerability is coming down to understanding the language of your children or your grandchildren, or even children around you. AQ, for example. Yes, you probably don't have your own biological son or daughter or whatever, but there are kids around you that you can still, that you can still instill some of this, values in, to say, we're not saying do this exactly the same way, but this is why it makes more sense to be respectful than to just do things anyhow. There are things that you might miss out on, not because you're a bad person, but because you overlook some certain things, or your attitude is not in the right place, just, passing on that, gone were the days before now. A child in a community is the child of the community.
100%.
An auntie on the street that is not related to you, but is your community, is your aunt. Everybody is your auntie and uncle, and they can chastise you and correct you. But now, there is no even body on the streets. Nobody is on the streets. Everyone is in the house. Everyone is on their, even inside the house, we are not all in the same place. We are not, when we are all sitting in the sitting room, we are not all in that sitting room. We're all in different places, even in the sitting room. Do you
And-
see?
And experiencing the world differently.
Differently.
That comes through our phones, our apps that don't belong to us, but have an influence in
Absolutely.
us and who we are.
Absolutely.
And shaking the
Yeah.
shame away from that. And I love that. And then I keep chipping in. And you see, I'm a very shy person. This is what I don't like about coming to this channel. I start going into different things. But I loved what you just said about being able to understand our kids and level with them. I think if you hear me say anything or nothing at all, this idea, boys don't cry, men don't cry, don't delete it. Just use less of it and let the boy cry and let the man cry. He has the right to cry. The idea, it starts with the vulnerability. Scott and I are around the same age, and even speaking about vulnerability, we are struggling to find a definition. I spoke about 20 minutes about vulnerability without saying what it means to me, but I had to still explain it because there's no one single way that I'll be like, I'm okay with vulnerable. I'm still not there, but I am getting there because I knew the only time I cry is when I get beaten. When I get beaten, what are you crying for? I didn't get beaten. Just saying. All my siblings did. But when we even beat the kids or whatever back in the day, like cry one more time, you get more beat. So to stop you crying, you still get more beat. So I can't cry while you beating me. I can't cry when I'm down. I can't cry. So where does the crying go? I wait for the rain to come.
Kukuki, like they say in Nigeria, kukuki.
Where does it go? Make it make sense. So
You know, like when you and it happened, you know, and the dramatic way you're like, and if I hear pim,
so even when you beat me, I cannot cry. So
No wonder our generation, we are all living and working trauma. Honestly,
I
no,
can
there is
we
imagine.
were traumatized.
You know, that's
legacy of trouble. Sorry, Scott. Yeah.
no. You can continue when you finish them.
No, go ahead, Scott.
Okay. You know that brings me to my next question. You see, we've seen this all somehow from the conversation we've been having. We've somehow identified, not just for men alone, but generally, that the issue of vulnerability extends far back than we can even imagine, from the from childhood, from the parent, from from society. It just goes all the way back, right? So what I would want to ask is, AQ, what daily habits or what small steps do you think men and everyone can begin to take, to especially from your own personal journey, or from your from your experience as a coach, as a mentor? What steps do you think we can begin to take, big or small, that can help become better with vulnerability and improve the overall mental health of the man?
Thank you. That's a really powerful question. I think we spoke about the problem quite a lot, and this is why you Dynamic 3, from my mouth to God, will do amazing with this channel and this platform. So thank you for taking us into the practicality of it. And that's why you need a mix. And no, nothing against Grace and EG, but every time you speak, I'm like, he's not my brother. This is what my brother will ask. You know what I mean? So the practical element of it is awareness. And it's really, let's not complicate it, because one of the things about coaching, mentoring, therapy, and all of that, we intellectualize it, thinking that there's one answer to all solution, or there's one way fixing. Your house, your mind, your personality, your lived experience is so dynamic that not one thing can answer it. And we live in a time where it's instant gratification. If I call you, you don't answer, you must hate me. If I see that you posted something on social media, but you haven't responded to my... I don't wake up every day thinking of Grace and EG. That's exhausting. So you've got to realize that there's other things. Awareness of yourself, and there's other things for the other person that's happening. And it's easy. It's take a pen and paper, and I'm just literally going to do it. Take a pen and paper. It's practically put a circle in the middle, if you could see it, and just write me. That's it. And another circle outside. And just listing what I'm worried about now, what I am now stressed about now, what I'm now scared of now, and see where it lands. If it lands, I'm scared because people who watch this program might not like what I said, then it's not me that's in control. The other people are. If the lighting on what I said offends somebody, again, it's outside. But if I'm not speaking from my own truth, then the problem is me. It's simple. One circle, me, the other circle, outside me. And find out where your stress, anxiety, and stress comes from. It sounds complicated, it's not, but it really starts with that awareness. And then make the decision. Let's not go from, I now know, let me go and fix it. No, it takes time for it to develop, to practice, and give yourself some grace. The fact that you're aware is so amazing, Grace. I'm using your name, Grace. You know that. Hint, hint. But yeah, be so amazing by giving yourself grace, by forgiving yourself for being compassionate, and even being compassionate for Grace for ignoring your call. Because that message and that post was very important to her business, her assignment, her friend, her family you don't know. She might be out there doing whatever she's doing, but it doesn't reflect on how she feels about you. So bringing it back to you and giving the other person equal grace. So practicality, there's so many different answers, but it's just what you can control, not what is outside your control. And a lot of times, especially as men, we've been raised to be the breadwinner. I hear EG and Grace say that quite a lot. But sometimes I'm not a breadwinner. You win the bread, madam. You know? And sometimes I'm maybe not on 100. I'm on 60 today, but I still got to show up. While I'm showing up at home, at work, I'm expected to do something. On the street, I'm expected to do something. And this threshold of men, and let's be very honest, generally speaking, men and women, people have more compassion for women in a vulnerable situation than they do for men. He's having an episode, or he's just being vicious and violent. And particularly, and I can speak from my experience, living in a Western country and being Black is not the easiest time or the best of time right now. Being Muslim in a non-Muslim country is not the easiest time right now, hence why I moved to the Middle East. That is where a lot of trauma came from, myself. And the reason why I'm saying that, Scott, you're in the UK. What happened recently at the train stabbing was something that's quite big here in the UK for Grace and Egypt. It's my heart and my prayer and my thoughts are with the victims. I hope for them and their family that they find peace and comfort and they recover well. And in this what happened is so traumatic. But the language that is being used to describe the gentleman who could have had an episode, we don't know. But the fact that he's not being given a grace is what is this. We don't know what's happening with him. How did he leave home? What was his generational trauma? How did he get up today and decided to take a knife onto the train? That's not a normal thing. That's somebody who's going through something. My point is, bro, when we talk about practicality, you've also got to realize being a man comes with its own huge labeling. It's strong, but what are you crying about? But then being a Black man also is like, come on now, what are you being? You being sissy? What are you crying for? You know, and you accepting failure is like, now you're showing your weakness. So that means the Black person has got one over you. They've got one over me at this moment, not for a lifetime. Not for a lifetime. That license, I don't give them. I didn't issue that passport for them to come back every hour and remind me of yesterday. No, that was yesterday. You're stuck there. I'm not. I have moved on, and that's why it's called Movember. If there's no movement, then nothing is changing. That's a short answer again, right, Scott? I like the way I keep saying short answer. It's not.
Right, correct. Thank you.
Thank you so much, AQ. This has been a very, very interesting conversation, if I do say so myself, even though I think our audience are all shy today. They're just there watching, but I'm hoping they are going like, Please don't do that home alone in your room. Do like, type the, even if you have nothing to say, type the word, in the comment section.
No, thank you. Actually, you're right.
So we know it hits something, because I know that we've said a lot, we've unpacked a lot in this conversation, and I'm hoping that you will leave this conversation remembering these key points that I take from all that we said. In no particular order. Remember that pain is just saying, pay attention to your inwards now. Thank you, Lady Stature, for typing the with a pensive emoji. I love you, girl. Right? So remember that pain is just a signal telling you to pay attention to your inwards, to what's going on your inside right now. Okay? And don't dwell there so that you can do something. But even in your doing, it's a movement. Give yourself grace while you move. Remember that some of the ways to deal with, to practically begin to open up to that world of vulnerability is first of all awareness. You see, this topic of awareness, I think we're going to dedicate a whole session to it because it is powerful. It affects every single area of your life. The more aware you are, the better in control of your inner self you are. You cannot control the outside world anyways. So when you are aware of what's going on, make a decision first. Don't take action. Make a decision that, okay, I'm aware. Where do I want to go? How do I want to go about it? And then take those simple steps and give yourself grace while you go on that journey. And gradually, you're going to begin to see yourself open up more to vulnerability being a strength. And even though it's a word, it's also a tool that you can use in guiding the way you live. And remember that exercise? You in the middle, in the center, the outside world. Find out where your stressors are. If it's within you, take the steps again to get back onto that inside. If it's without you, please let it go. Let it go. It's not yours to control. Thank you so much, AQ. It's been a pleasure having you on the show and opening up the Movember movement on Your Voice, Your Impact this November. We're going to have a lot of pop-ups this month. So we're going to be talking to a lot of men. And I'm so happy that at least, because I was a bit worried that, are we going to have enough men to cover the whole month? But men are coming. Like, I'm even seeing some, like, you need to talk to this man. This is a man you need to bring on your show. I'm like, thank you very much. God bless you. You are so kind. So we're going to be talking to a lot of men, just having these conversations, around, let's get into their heads so that we can better understand the weight that they carry and we can appreciate them every time you see a man. And I love what you said, AQ, saying that sometimes when you see people, there are a lot of other things that are going on for them to get to that point of attitude. If you're able to tap into that, it might actually increase your empathy towards them and maybe help you position in such a way that they can be vulnerable to you to open up to get the help that they need. Thank you so much. Gracie Scott, you want to say your goodbyes as we say, wrap up the session.
Yeah, I think we've done more than we've gone really far today, but I mean, we're starting up the show, a new series, so it's worth it. Thank you so much, AQ, for coming, and please share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank
All
you.
right. AQ? I said AQ. Scott before AQ, yeah? Scott?
Yeah, well, I would say whatever we've done today, we've only just even scratched, we've not even scratched the surface at all. There's still a whole lot, to bring forward, to talk about, to unearth with this, in this men's month, and to, embrace the move that we are on, this journey that we are. So please stick with us throughout the month. Like, subscribe, and continue to share. We want this to get out as much as possible. Thank you, AQ. And yeah, that's my piece.
Awesome. All right. AQ, thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you for sharing your story from your lived experience. That phrase I caught from you, lived experience.
Could I just say one thing? We all sit here
Yes.
with a brick behind us, right? And each layer needs the other in order for it to be stable. So what you said is absolutely right. We're unearthing, and different pieces of it will fix it. And that's the journey that we're all on. And thank you for giving me the platform. And thank you for leading the conversation. And thank you for really making me feel comfortable and at home. God bless you and God bless your journey.
Shukran, Habibi.
Bye,
Guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you next week.